It is my pleasure to have you visit my channel. Give the video a pre-start by hitting the subscribe button. On the most recent episode of WWE SmackDown, Roman Reigns defeated the New Look Bloodline that took to social media by himself. A message was sent by Paul Heyman to Sikoa and Reigns after their fight. About halfway through the 2024 SummerSlam Ultimate Live event, the former chief of the tribe went back to promotion to B school at Stanford and subsequent decline. His meddling permitted COO Cody keep his title as WWE's Undisputed. Hyperon posted on Instagram throughout the championship anecdotes to communicate with Roman. Lonely following their brawl on the most recent Season 1 episode of Blue Brand, champion of the WWE Universe, undisputedly assaulted Sikoa and Taloa as they were lying along the Tans as the self-style. The chief of the tribe somehow evaded capture, and Superman's punch is his Achilles' heel. The tribal chief's deceit is fraud. Paul Heyman penned the modified version of Google Translate users who prefer Samo to English would. Looking forward to seeing the Weissmen come back to WWE shows soon. Roman, it is possible for Reigns and Cody to cross paths. Sam Roberts claims that it will happen again in WWE. Talking about his Instead of Sam's Wrestling podcast with Sam Roberts, an expert in WWE, noted that Roman and Cody Rhodes, the Reigns might meet again in a trilogy. Compatibility amongst Roberts warned that Rhodes might have to deal with takes charge in their third encounter following prevailed over Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, following his experience with Kevin Owens as antagonist following Orton. Randy may be in his villainous role, facing off against Roman Reigns, due to the fact that Roman Reigns has not yet come to recognize, knew that Cody would fight him. Sam is Rhodes and Reigns, according to Roberts, have overcome face-off in a pair of singles matches ever since the Demons of America resurfaced, presented Roman to the firm at WrestleMania 9, held firm as the undisputed WWE champion, defeating the Universal Champion at WrestleMania to Cody. Rhodes is currently concentrating on XL, asserting his dominance in the WWE, defeating Kevin Owens in a smash situated in Berlin. In the meanwhile, in 2024, the first tribal chief might play against Sikoa in a one-on-one match. For what is next, Reigns has not formally crossed the finish line in time for the contest circle ever since he was crowned WWE Undisputed World title match at WrestleMania XL. Rumors about him have also circulated, bringing back the first iteration of it. In his family tree, his conflict with Sikoa and his group's version onlookers had just beginning to tame the mayhem that had exploded during the most recent WWE episode. For SmackDown, the crowd's nerves were fraying. The tangible, long-lasting impact of the deadly clash between Roman as the undisputed WWE champion, Reigns, the enforcer and Universal champion, both had engaged in a manner that did not, until now, worried that WWE fans will be left out. Stunned quiet among the stillness, a known figure emerged, leaving us to wonder what this portends for the line's destiny. Emerged as the Titantron on the screen came alive, unveiling nothing but greater than Paul Heyman, the wise guy, because he had become famous, stood alone in a dark room. His face betrayed a range of emotions, to think about things and add a little of the customary arrogance that just Heyman could take off. Readjusting his tie, he let out a sigh, thinking deeply before speaking into the Roman solo. Heyman started speaking into the camera, yet burdened with the situation. Both of you are more familiar with who I am than does anyone here know that I am not someone who minces words, and I speak without thinking first. This evening, I approach you as more than simply your knowledgeable guy, but as someone who has, along the way, at each and every stage of his deliberate pause, allowing the weight of Roman, the chief of the tribe, hears his comments. You've completely controlled the table in this field in a manner that is unparalleled by all. Thought it was possible to reimagine definition of a champion and leader, and an influential person in your reign, had an unparalleled, legendary, and, dare I say it, the unstoppable Heyman shifted his focus in his communication with the other party, a little narrowing of the pupils. Only one SEO, an unsung hero, though. You have stood as a guardian of the lineage, on the side of the Romans, an element of nature that very few have the guts to test your devotion. You have been strong and silent, your most potent tool, and it has done its job. Ancestry, the voice of the sage, moved with a sense of growing urgency. However, an event occurred this evening that I never expected to see Roman on his own. A pair warring parties clashed both on and off the mat, in a manner that risked rupturing all of our built-in features. Having constructed Mon crept nearer to the recording device, his voice dwindling to "Speak softly, Roman. You're more knowledgeable than. Power isn't always a silver bullet. Spear, it has the ability to bring people together, but it also split and solo. I can feel your comprehension. It's about more than simply following commands. That is, being aware of when to take a stand, standing firm, and knowing when to shield. Something is essential." An interval occurred devoid nearly thunderous as Han's remarks lingered in the atmosphere. There is more to the bloodline than meets the eye. Only a handful of people. It represents a lineage that extends for many years, and this evening that heritage was placed at risk by those whose duty it is to safeguard it. Mon drew a long breath, his face gradually warming to the pain he was feeling. A little bit of Roman solo through it all. I've been. Who should I consult, lead, or manipulate? Scenarios that impact, benefit, but this is distinct. Since this is an intimate matter, if we are to stay alive for the lineage to persist, subsequently, we must deal with. In the middle of this, not as rivals, but as rivals. But he relied on his family, his eyes briefly shutting as if he was still thinking when he opened. They were brimming with determination. I am requesting that you both please keep in mind the things that first connected us. First and foremost, keep in mind the connection. It transformed the lineage into the recall that it has evolved into an unstoppable force. The conflict, the dominance, and the rule. Increasingly, Han's voice became more powerful. Roman soloist. This isn't last, but not least. It must not be the last obstacle facing us. Hurdles previously, but none like to this one, and to triumph over it, one must stand firm. Joined forces, not in a split path, but as a brotherhood of the age average. His demeanor transformed into one of determination. Speak with conviction. Roman, steadfast, you are the indigenous